what's up? We gonna send a shout out to my man Scooby, man. Got a lot of names. You know what I mean? SiriusVybe Primetime is in the building. Scooby, run off your names.
Yes, sir. It's your boy Frank Sirius, a.k.a. Scooby, a.k.a. the Godson of Go-Go, a.k.a. Mr. Original, a.k.a. Mr. Five Names, a.k.a. Frankie Knuckles.
That's it today?
Today. That's it. I have another one for you next week.
I'm Dirk from DC Vibe.
Yes, sir. And together we are
SiriusVybe Primetime. Listen here, man. April 30th through March the 5th. SiriusVybe and Friends Caribbean Cruise.
Yes, sir.
www.SiriusVybe-cruise.com. The friends that we're bringing along with SiriusVybe is Secret Society, Black Alley, DJ Dirty Rico, and DJ 59, hosted by Capri Monique.
And you.
Yeah, you a friend too.
So make sure you go get your cabin.
You're my friend. You're my friend.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. We all friends here. SiriusVybe and Friends. Make sure y'all go get y'all cabins, man.
Yeah.
www.SiriusVybe-cruise.com. But today, speaspeaking of cruising, 40 years of worth of cruising in the industry.
Man, in the industry though, not the DMV.
Huh?
Not the DMV.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Not the DMV.
Yeah, not the DMV. The industry, the real industry.
The industry. That means the world.
Yes, sir.
That means the world. All right? It's the world.
We got the one and only Cliff Jones, man.
Yeah.
Cliff Jones.
Thank you.
I gotta say this to you, Scooby.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people making moves that came out of that Eastern High School.
Absolutely. We got another one right here, man.
I see that, man.
Yeah, Eastern Round. We got his Eastern Blue.
I got all my blue, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cliff, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, fellas, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you making time for a little old us, man. Thank you so much, man.
Listen, ain't no little old y'all. Y'all doing y'all thing right now.
Hey.
I appreciate that, man. But but speaking of doing your thing, you've been out here moving and shaking for years, man. So for the people that's not really hip to, what you've done behind the scenes, the artists you've discovered, run them down, man. You got people started in the industry that.
At the end of the day, man, I discovered Tank, Raheem, me and Jerry, of course, that manage you guys. We managed Genuine for years. We worked with Tyrese.
Okay.
We managed Drew Hill. Man, the list goes on and on. I mean, when it comes to working with and discovering and introducing, it's a lot. I mean, we didn't work with Donna Summers. I just realized today, it was funny, Bob had mentioned to me, he was like, man, did you know you forgot about the Donna Summers thing? I was like, no, I didn't, man. Donna Summers, Gladys Knight.
What you did a record for?
We did records for them, soundtracks, Nutty Professor 1 and 2, Dr. Doolittle 1 and 2, Men in Black 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
Cliff got them checks coming in.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Man, the checks is all right. It ain't y'all checks, though.
Oh, no. You got that publishing money.
Yeah.
I mean, and then, we worked with some gospel artists, of course. There's a gospel background from Fred Hammond to Yolanda Adams, Bobby Jones, who else? Is this
Will Beckner?
Yeah, is this?
No, you good.
Okay, all right, cool. I worked with William Beckton. We did the song "Be Encouraged" together. The Winans, of course, gave me my first start.
Oh, really?
Gave me my first
I don't
start.
think I knew that.
In the business per se. They really launched me to, do it professionally. When I was in Easton, one of my summer jobs was being on Broadway. I was a whiz kid. And then from that, I did the play Faith, Mama Don't, It's Too Short to Box with God. What else?
So you pretty much did it all, from theater to gospel stages.
Everything. Yeah, I've been a little flying.
A little flying out here.
Little piece there. Little piece. A little piece. Yeah,
so tell us about the management side of things. I know you're an artist yourself.
Right.
You had 7 Sons of Soul, the gospel group. Y'all flew with that. But tell us about the management side of managing people like Genuine, being out on the road, being in those rooms, you know, from a boy from DC, you know what I mean? Like what was the challenges of, I guess, pretty much discovering, taking people to those rooms and making sure their careers went straight after that?
You know, being a manager and seeing it from an artist perspective, I thought I was retired.
Right.
After being encouraged, I was like, man, you know, I'm good. I done been in church all my life, you know, and I've always said that I would do gospel music. Even though, y'all don't know this, but I got to say this.
What?
Foots, before he passed, was really trying to get me to slide in to sing with Essence back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, I mean, me and Donnell don't remember this, but Foots was like, Cliff, come on. I was like, nah, man, I'm good. But the whole management piece, it was, man, when I say it was an honor and a privilege, man, to just be in that position. Like, that position kind of fell in my lap. I never shall forget Gene Griffin, God rest his soul, told me, he said, man, you know, if you're going to be in this business, you should learn every facet of the business.
Right.
And the management side, like I was a road manager. I was a PA, a production assistant. So when I got to the management part, you know, there were some things that I had to learn on the job, bumps,
Right.
overrides, producer overrides, publishing. You had to know, production and the whole, you know, you had to build relationships with writers and producers. Not just that, you had to build relationships with the executives, because if you were a manager, you know, at some point you kind of want to come in and, deal with them from the perspective of making your artists get the best
Right.
that he should get.
You're still representing somebody.
Still representing. And then also, too, man, being a manager, you still got to know promoters. You got to know those people. You got to know venues. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when the artist is trying to sell the music, you still got to know, you know, who is that person. That's you know, your artist can get out there and sell the music too. That's going to book them.
Yeah.
So, and then it's just so many labels to the management side. When you're doing photo shoots, you got to know photographers.
Yeah.
You got to know stylists. You got to know pretty much everybody that deals with the artist.
Right. So you pretty much the middleman to connect the plug.
Got to.
Everything.
Got a lot of limbs.
Yeah.
So did you have, you know, you say you did some of it on the fly, but was there another manager out there that influenced you, that you could, you know, call up and say, hey.
You learned everything.
Man, I mean, there was so many people that, you know, because when me and Jerry got in the business, Jerry was more so interested on the management side. I kind of like wanted to get more so into the production side and
artist development,
the label side and artist development.
Right.
But even on that tip, it was Gene Griffin. You had people like Barry Hankerson. Of course, God rest him. The Godfather. Trying to call his name.
From Philly.
Nah, not from Philly. I can't think. It's Clarence Avon.
I'm
sorry. Excuse me. Clarence Avon. Puff. You know, you had Suge. I mean, now these people didn't influence me, but they were people that I had to have relationships with. And even though they were the way they were, I still learned stuff from them.
Okay.
You know, and then of course there's some other people that were in the business that, you know, I can't even begin. It's a long list of folk, but I've learned every time I built a relationship, I took something from them and, you know, implemented on my side of the fence.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, and for your expertise, like, what is your, like, strategy in breaking a record?
Man, and that's the crazy part. Like, you gotta know the radio people. You know what I'm saying? And it's different now.
Right.
You know, we was just talking about this. It's different now because you got stuff that streams and you got stuff online, YouTube, you know what I'm saying, IG and all that good stuff. You know, back when radio was super popular, you had to know those radio people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get into no thing where it was a parlay thing going on, under the table thing going on, because I never really experienced any of that. Mm-hmm. But what I did was I had to go know people in Chicago. I had to know people down south. I had to know people here in D.C., which is now like, the mothership of me, because I never left.
Right.
I was like, I'm never leaving my hometown. So I had to build a relationship here first in order to break. I never shall forget when we were breaking Be Encouraged, right?
Right.
Beckton came to me. He said, man, Jones, help me. And I was like, man, okay, I mean, what you want me to do? He was like, man, just pass it around, let people check it out. So I was like, okay. So I was on tour with Boyz II Men at the time.
Okay.
Going back and forth with that. And, when we go to the radio stations, after they leave the interview, I go to the PD and be like, hey, man, we got a gospel record out. And they was like, huh? I said, yeah, play number 9. And, man, it started circulating. Yeah. Big Boy from L.A., shouts out to Big Boy. Prince DeJour here from D.C., yeah. Winston Chaney. They jumped on that record, man. And when I tell you, before we knew it, we ain't had social media back then.
Right. Yeah.
Man, it started flying. And, man, I'm going to tell you, I never shall forget, we was in New Orleans. I got up, man, we got in this limo, and the guy was like, man, it's Sunday morning. We're going to play this gospel. The record came on. I lost my mind. I said, wait a minute.
And you ain't know it was going to be played?
Nah. I mean, people were like, hey, we hearing it back at home, and it's blowing up at home. Man, we in New Orleans, yeah, Louisiana.
Right.
And the record came on, and it was like, wow. And then, man, next thing you know, man, the record just took off. And I was like, wow, man. People were like, yo, man, we hear you, man, we hear you. And I was like, wow, thank you. And it's still big to this day.
Yeah, that's a big record.
To this day.
Yeah.
So Eastern High School.
Absolutely. And you hear me say he never left. You always say we never leave.
Never leave, man. Best school spirit in the city.
Absolutely,
it, man. I can't hate on that.
So you said one thing that kind of struck a chord with me. You said you was on the road with Boyz II Men. In what capacity?
I was doing some road work with them.
Okay.
At the time, me and Mike, the bass singer.
Yeah.
Mike he had a deal over at Rough House. So at the time, me and him were, trying to do business together. Mm-hmm. So I went out with them for about, 4 or 5 months, just being out on the road with them, doing different things, doing some PA stuff, playing my lane.
Right.
So at the time, man, he heard a record that I did for Keith Martin, artist on Keith Martin. He was on Rough House Records. And he said, Cliff, I want that record for Keith. And, Keith was like, yeah, man, I told you I was going to tell him about the record. Then next thing you know, 2 records end up being 3 records.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that, the owner, which is Chris Swartz, he said, look, man, we want to give you an A&R job. And I was like, really?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah. So
at Rough House?
Rough House.
Okay.
So I was like, man, he ain't playing. So next thing you know, I got the job. They gave me $120,000 a year.
Oh, yeah.
Rented me a Range Rover. Gave me a little publishing deal. Man, you couldn't tell me nothing.
What year was this?
This was like 93.
Yeah.
93, 90.
He was flying
90, no, yeah, 93. 94.
94. See, $120 back then was all right.
Yeah.
Oh, man, and I never shall forget, man. I was, at the time when I left, I was doing my thing with Bobby Jones. I was on the gospel scene, doing BET, working with the Winans and stuff. And at the time, when I got the job, man, I left DC, and it was like I was, man, broke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't really have it all like that. You know what I'm saying? I was in the business, but I was still trying to maintain. Right. So I went, man, and, I was like, I told my wife, I'm going to take this chance and see what happens, man. I'm going to go up here and produce these records. When I went up and did the records, man, and they offered me all this within a 3-week period. So I was going back and forth home. Man, the last time I left and I came back, I pulled up in a Range Rover. My wife was like, what's that? So at the end of the day, we sitting at Big Bob Big Boys on 450.
Yeah.
And man, I couldn't believe it. I had money in my pocket. brand new car, getting ready to move my family out of Courage Hill apartments, right? And no, not Courage Hill. What's them apartments on right there across the street from New Carrollton Mall?
Oh, shit, I don't know.
Whatever the name of them was. Yeah. I got them out of there. Yeah. And we went and moved in Maryland, man, up in the hills of up Marlboro, and it was crazy, man. I bust out crying at the table, and they thought I was having a heart attack or something. She was like, "You all right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm just happy." Yeah. You know, so it worked out for me.
Man, I'm glad.
Back since then.
Man, look.
Flying ever since.
The bag.
The bag. So hold up, we gotta get into that bag word, because I heard you made that up. You and Jerry kind of came up with
the bag. Listen, Jerry, let me tell you something. Jerry is the guy, and me and Jerry per se, but more so Jerry. Jerry will say a cliche, and it will stick with us forever. And then the both of us will get to saying it, and then it's like give me a bag. Yeah, I need a little piece.
A little piece.
Give me a little piece. You know what I'm saying? You got the little piece. You got the bag.
Yeah, they got to cut me in or cut me out.
Cut me. Hey, look, that was a Gene Gifford line there. Okay. Cut me in or cut it out. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I told you, I said, man, we have to write a book or put something together called Cliche DC. Yeah. Or Cliche Cliff and Jerry. You know what I mean?
Y'all done came up with a few of them.
Yeah, we have. It's been good.
So what's been now you had coming out of Eastern, you had the publishing deal, you got the A&R deal. What led you said you always been in church, but what led you to do 7 Sons of Soul? Like
So the Raheem story. I woke up one morning and I decided to go to New York, and this is crazy, man. This is gonna bless y'all. So I woke up one morning, me and Big Charles Dyson, he asked me to help him shop Kendra, who sings. She should sing with you and Dirk.
Yeah, she sung with Familiar. Still Familiar.
Still Familiar. Subtle and Still Familiar. Yeah. So I said, all right, cool. I said, as a matter of fact, I got to go to New York anyway to handle some other business for Genuine. So I go up. And he says, man, you gotta listen to this. So we on the train, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, yo, she's blowing me away. Like, this girl can really do it. Mm-hmm. So we get to New York, we go to Sony, and I play it for Sony, and they were like, we're not interested. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. You know, it was like, it's cool. I said, all right, cool. I said, Charles, I'm gonna go over here and meet with my man, because I want to talk to him about some production work too. Mm-hmm. So we go over there, and he says to me, the guy says, what you got? Peter Thier. Mm-hmm. I play him Kendra. He was like, he said, Cliff, this is tough. And I said, why is it tough, Peter? He said, man, I would love to sign this girl, man, but this girl right now, I just signed Nivea.
Okay.
True story. I'm telling you, this is how the story went. So after that, he said, what else you got? I said, I got this kid that we've been working on back home, man. This kid he's dope. He's a writer. He was like, he writes. So that sparked him. He was like, he write? I said, yeah, he's a writer. Hell of a writer. Mm-hmm. So I said, his name, Raheem DeVaughn. So I played it for him. Man, I can't make this up. He listened to, it was the song Cadillac. If you go to the first album and listen to Cadillac, we played Cadillac, and he couldn't get through the second verse. He stopped the music. He got on the phone and told his assistant, she said, go get Barry. Tell Barry to get down here now and go get Jimmy. So they all came in the room, right? They was like, yo, this Cliff Jones, good friend of mine. We did work over at RCA together, da-da-da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. He said, listen, this is his artist. Man, he played that. The room was like, whoo. They was like, yo. Yeah. They was like, whoa. So Barry, which is the CEO, Barry Weiss, he said, you can't leave. So I was like, I'm thinking it's a joke, right? He's like, you can't leave. Because if we let you leave out of here, you're going to go somewhere else and shop, and we know you. Yeah. You can't leave this building, Cliff. Yeah. Hey, I kid you not, Dirk. School, they got me a room at the Waldorf Astoria with an open credit card. Man, you already know. You already know what happened. Man, I'm talking about, man, I was ordering bottles.
Yes, sir.
Steak and eggs, Woke up the next morning, got me a omelet, a seafood omelet with smoked salmon in it, caviar. Man, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But the sad thing is, I couldn't buy no clothes. I had to wear the same clothes the next day.
Oh wow!
And I went up there, man, and they offered Raheem a deal, man. I mean, almost. Let me just say, almost one of the biggest deals we ever did in the music business.
Wow.
It was incredible. Like, I mean, and that's what I mean by getting in front of those people with some quality music and quality production and writing, and boom, you know what I'm saying? Took off.
Yeah, so speaking of that now, so it's a lot of, how do you feel about that model versus now a lot of people are going independent?
It's tough.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you know, a lot of the artists don't really get the chance to be exposed
Enough.
like they should. I think, and not just the artists, but the writers and the producers. Man, you got talented as hell. You know what I'm saying? And those relationships are still there, but you got to fight real hard, man, to get them to you know, convincingly, you know, pour into these kids so they can get the exposure that they need. Now, they still got the bag where they can put behind you to be exposed.
But do they get their money back though?
Of course they're gonna get it back. They get it back through. They gonna get their money back through streaming anyway.
Okay.
I you know, my thing is, I want to get into this conversation because this is a deep conversation and I don't want to scare nobody off.
Right.
But they robbing us, man.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Right.
They robbing us. I'm gonna be honest with you. As many times as y'all perform weekly and nightly, and somebody posting that, you supposed to get paid from that.
Yeah.
You supposed to get paid. That's why I say join Sound Exchange. Join Sound Exchange. People be like, whatever, what's Sound Exchange? I'm like, okay. I just got a bag from him last month.
A bag.
Bag.
I'm trying to get me a little piece.
A little 7,500 ain't bad.
Nah, not when you least
You know what I'm
suspect
saying?
it.
Hey.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, it's just tough, man. Like that streaming and the way they got this thing set up now, man, it's sad. It really is. It's crazy because you got a lot of talent out here that can't get to the next level because of that.
Yeah. And it says like 100,000 songs a day come out, like that's released on DSPs. A day. So
man.
like to be special, you got to be extra special.
You got to
stand out.
extra special, and you got to have somebody
Pushing, put it in front of it.
Put it in front of and have the relationships.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy.
100,000 songs a day.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
And even to get on a playlist.
Right. That's the thing. Yeah.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Getting on a playlist.
So that's like the new radio.
Right.
The radio.
The new
connect.
radio, yep. I see now that they're giving away plaques. You know, you had 6 million or what is it? 7 million streams or whatever. So I'm like, that's good. I mean, that's nice. I mean, and it's different from us. I mean, we had plaques.
Platinum plaque.
Where we sold. You
sold
but
a million
the
records.
good thing about that is that if you sold 4 million records, you're gonna reap
$4 million worth of. I mean, 4 million records worth of money too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, whatever your contract say,
right.
or whatever your points or your bumps are, whatever,
Right.
you know, you're gonna see that.
Yeah.
You know, so.
So you also dabbled in TV.
Yep.
Yeah.
TV.
Working with the Braxton family.
Braxton.
Was it Braxton Family Values?
Braxton Family Values. And now their show is called The Braxtons.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you still involved with that or?
Nah, I'm not. I've been consulting with Tracy's son. Her son, well, you know, as you know, Tracy passed.
Rest in peace, Tracy Braxton.
Rest in peace, my love, man.
Yeah.
Tracy was incredible, and I'm gonna get into that. But what happened was when she passed away, they decided to come back and do another show, and they wanted the son to be on the show. So I've been consulting with them.
Okay.
You know, just, you know, like, hey, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that, you know, that type of thing. But man, I remember when I was trying to do the, you know, the TV thing, everybody was laughing at me. Shoot, everybody. Now everybody in TV and movies.
Yeah.
They was like, hey, man, you ain't gonna do no TV. Get on your head, Cliff. Right? So I was like, nah. I was like, man, I'm telling you, I really want to do it. So I went and got with my man Phil Robinson, who introduced me. Well, I've already known who Shawnee O'Neal was. And they let me come around, to the whole Basketball Wives thing. And I'm peeping, watching. So all of a sudden, we out in New Orleans again, doing Essence. And I was already doing some records. Me and Dave Lindsay was doing some records with Tracy Braxton. And she said, Cliff, I want you to manage me. And I was like, you want who to manage you? She was like, I want you to manage me, man. So I said, okay, cool. So we got to talking. We sat down. She brought me on. We built a relationship. I got in. I did the show for the first time. I think it was the second season I came on. Third season, they was using me as a content coordinator.
Right.
Building content. And I got indebted to the show. And it was incredible, man. Like I started getting meetings with the network, and it was incredible, man.
So how does that work? So in reality TV, right? Do y'all, first of all, is it real?
It is. It is. Now, some of it, Dirk, I'm going to be honest with you. Some of it is slightly scripted.
Right.
Some of it. But it is real TV. It's real TV.
So do they like film all day and then they know enough of what to do to irritate somebody to like...
You a producer, boy.
Producers,
This is a producer at heart.
Yeah.
You're a producer at heart. Yep. That's it.
And because I know that, like, when you try to irritate me, it don't work.
Yeah.
So I know you try.
Sometimes
It don't work, champ.
I throw a little shot in there.
Yeah, it don't work.
Yeah, he play it cool like a cucumber though. I got him.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So how did the death of Tracy affect you?
Man, we were very close.
Yeah.
And it's tough, man. Like, we shared a lot. At one point, people thought we were having an affair with each other, which I can honestly say on national TV that we wasn't.
Right.
She was a sister to she was a sister to my sisters and to my brother, and she was an aunt to my children. She was a sister to my wife and all that. I mean, it was incredible, man. Like, we were like this, and it was like the world started to see, like, yo, you don't see Tracy without Cliff, and you don't see Cliff without Tracy.
Right.
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna say this, and I don't care how it flows or whatever, but I think her sisters was a little jealous of our relationship. You know what I mean? At some point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we were very close. And I mean, we would share things with each other, man, do things for each other. You know what I'm saying? Help each other. And it was good, man. Tracy was a beautiful person, funny as hell.
Yeah.
Funny as hell, man. She loved both of y'all.
Yeah.
Loved
Funny,
y'all,
man. I'm talking about, yeah.
She was funny. She was funny.
So that dynamic with the sisters, and I don't want to harp on it too much with the Braxtons, but from the outside looking in, watching the TV show, it always seems like she was the glue for, because you got the wild one, you got the one that really don't want to be bothered, then you got the mother, and it's like Tracy was always the one, like, to get everybody in line a little bit. You know what I mean? So
she was. Tracy had a lot of spunk.
Yeah.
She had a lot of spunk. She was definitely the person.
She'd spank everybody to get everybody. Yeah.
She would be, now, a lot of times she would be passive.
Right.
She would be quiet, but then Tracy was the one that was like, look, I'm not playing no games, so you don't play no games.
Yeah.
It was that type of thing. But they had a beautiful, I'm going to tell you, they got a beautiful family.
Yeah.
All families got issues.
Right, of course.
All families. But they got a beautiful family and a beautiful history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A beautiful history, man. And I mean, it's sometimes, behind the scenes, the disagreements are funny as hell.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be around it to actually see Trina and Tracy, how they, get together and disagree, to Wanda and Trina, right. And then Tamar and Tracy, you know what I'm saying? And then Tony and Tracy. So they got a beautiful family, man. I mean, a lot of times I think the producers would do certain things to irritate them and make them mad and to cause them to have friction with one another. So
they had a Dirk on the show, basically. The producer. You said the producer.
Which part we talking about? Irritate.
A little shot,
You talking about irritate. It's not working, man.
It's
not working.
SiriusVybe.